In this video, I'll report on another death of a foreigner in Medellin, Colombia. Follow along.
You're watching dcbornrob, erasing borders. And now, the news.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever it is you're located. Thanks for watching. My name is Rob Christian, also known as dcbornrob, DC Rob. Rob, I answer to them all. Do me a favor, if you get any benefit out of my videos, go down and hit the subscribe button, click the bell to be alerted of any new videos, and like, of course, that helps the YouTube algorithm. But to get to this first video, I want to preface this story or these set of stories by letting you know that personally, I still think Medellin, Colombia is safe. It's safe for me as a visitor. I do these stories on the deaths there because I think that you need to know. You need to do due diligence before you go to a country, specifically if it's your first time. It doesn't matter if you're going to Cuenca, Ecuador, if you're going to Washington, D.C. or New York City. You need to do due diligence before you go there. So, and I would like to think that that's why you come to this channel, because I offer some information that's of benefit before you do travel. I do encourage you to travel. I still encourage you to travel to Medellin, Colombia. These stories, I personally believe, are anomalies. They don't happen that often. And again, there is a running theme behind some of these stories. And you should pick up on this on your own. And I bring it up every time. You know, it's someone sent me a story of something that happened to him early in the morning a few days ago. And he had a statement that you've heard before, that nothing good happens after 3 a.m. in the morning. So there's running themes in these stories. You need to know, I think you need to know ahead of time before you travel to those locations. But I just wanted to preface these stories by letting you know. So let's jump into the first story. Okay, this first story is from El Colombiano. It's entitled, Another Foreigner Was Found Dead in a Jacuzzi in Medellin. That's right. Within the past week, 2 gentlemen were found dead in jacuzzis in Medellin, Colombia. Again, I say these are anomalies. They all have a running theme. You have to figure that out on your own, which just shouldn't be too difficult. But this one says, in room 301 in a luxury hotel in El Poblado, authorities found the lifeless body of a 59-year-old British man submerged in a jacuzzi. It is the second case of a foreigner found dead in similar circumstances in just 1 week. The victim was identified as León Víctor Deán Número, who was 59 years old and had a British passport. According to the authorities, the man was living in a house in the village of Santa Elena, and some Canadian friends invited him to spend New Year's Eve parties at the luxury in the company of some women. Okay, the party went on until this Tuesday. They were drinking liquor, and at 3 a.m., the companions had gone to sleep while the victim was left alone in the jacuzzi. At 9 a.m., one of his friends went to pick him up and found him submerged lifeless. According to the testimony of the hotel manager, León Víctor had a nosebleed when he was half naked. Just last December 29th, also in El Poblado, Victor Manuel Lacaya, a 39-year-old man of American nationality, was found completely submerged in a jacuzzi with 2 women and a man, while who accompanied him were found unconscious in the place. The deceased did not have any visible signs of violence or injuries, and so far as it is known, that he was an insurance agent for a pharmaceutical firm and that he lived in California, United States. The real estate agency worker who rented the apartment for the foreigner was the one who notified the authorities. Bottles of alcohol, cigarettes, and food were found at the site, and among what most caught the attention of the authorities, they found a bag with a substance that looked like black powder. Medellin closed last year with 19 foreigners killed in various circumstances. León Víctor is the first of this year, so the Personería has made several calls to articulate efforts between entities and strengthen the tourist dynamic in the city. Okay, I like to have different variations of the same story. So here's another one. This one's quick. This one is from Minuto 30. It's entitled, What Happened to Him? Foreigner citizen was found dead in the bathroom of a hotel in El Poblado. In a hotel located in El Poblado sector, Comuna 14, Medellin, the lifeless body of a man of foreign nationality was found who was chatting with some friends. What is known about the foreigner who died in Poblado? And it is that Minuto 30 was able to know that the deceased of British nationality was 59 years of age and had been a resident of village of Santa Elena for several years. And apparently he was a graphic designer who lived alone. According to preliminary information, the man, who was not yet been identified, was invited by friends to spend New Year's Eve festivities in the place, where he was found dead by one of them in the bathtub in the morning of this Wednesday. For now, the cause of his death has not been established. The authorities are advancing the investigations. It should be notified that a few days ago, another Nicaraguan man died apparently from overdose in a hotel in El Poblado, when it was with two women and another man. Likewise, another man of American nationality died after a party in Envigado, Antioquia. The next quick story also is from Minuto 30. And this one's a little different. Now, I'm doing these again because these are mostly foreigners. So I'm just giving you the heads up that this is happening. Again, due diligence before you travel anywhere. It doesn't matter where I go. Before I go back to Antigua, Guatemala, I check the news. I just so happen to check Colombia's news every day, so I'm aware of these things as soon as they pop up. But again, I say they're anomalies, and I still say that I will feel safe the next time I get back. And this is not going to stop me from going. So I want to put that out there, okay? Okay, again from Minuto 30, it says half naked and face down thus they found the body in Robledo. Okay, it says in the morning hours of this Tuesday, a lifeless body of a man was found in the rural area of Robledo, Santa Maria, who was also killed by gunshot wounds. It was the community that found the body and the man, approximately 38 years of age, of African descent. Now, you know, outside of this story, we don't know if African descent means African American or from Africa. So, okay, back to the story. It says, who was face down and half naked and also apparently was covered with some blankets. The deceased was killed with at least 6 impacts produced with a firearm, and now his identity has been established. The authorities are investigating the facts. Now, this one I just want to read because this has to do with the violence in Colombia and crime in general. The numbers have actually gone down. Okay, from last year to this year, the number has gone down. Not by a lot, but it has gone down. I think it says murders in Valle de Aburrá were lower than in quarantine, dropping from 625 to 591 cases. So just be aware. And this one, again, is from El Colombiano. It says the violence gave the residents of Sabaneta and Envigado a break in 2021, as in each town there were only 3 funerals caused by homicides. This achievement was part of the overall reduction in murders in the Aburrá Valley of 5.44% compared to 2020. Okay, it says, according to official statistics, Envigado fell from 7 to 3 cases, and Sabaneta went from 1 to 3. This implies that, on average, there was 1 death every 121 days. The last conflict that afflicted the 2 municipalities occurred between 2018 and 2019, when the gangs of El Trianon and La Terraza faced dissidents from the latter for control of the vice squares. Okay, so there you go. In the metropolitan area, there were 591 violent deaths last year, 34 less than in 2020. Okay, so there it is by the numbers. So let me put this out there and let there be no ambiguity. The numbers are actually less. Just because I report on certain stories does not mean that this is prevalent. Okay, let me be clear about that. Okay, the last story I want to go over is this one is about Omicron. It says, and again, this one is from El Colombiano. It's entitled, Omicron is already the dominant variant in Colombia. Just so you know, a week ago, they just found 3 cases. Okay, so now it's the dominant variant. It's the same as here in the US. It's everywhere. It's going to go around. If I'm not mistaken, I've had it recently too, because I've had a serious cough for the last couple of weeks, but tested negative for that and the flu. So who knows? Okay, this says, again, this is from El Colombiano. It says the Minister of Health, Fernando Ruiz, reported that the Omicron variant of COVID-19 is already the dominant one in Colombia. As we had anticipated, as of January 2nd, more than 60% of the genomic map of COVID-19 in Colombia is dominated by Omicron. This implies adopting guidelines to the clinical characteristics of the variant, was announced in the head of the health portfolio, Ruiz Gomez. According to the most recent report from the National Institutes of Health, Omicron already circulates in Bogota, Atlantica, Antioquia, Bolivar, Córdoba, Magdalena, Quindío, and Valle de Cauca. This is generated according to the entity that the contagion of the virus is triggered by January 5th. The country registered 16,259 new coronavirus infections, the highest number since July 19, 2021, the date of which 16,455 cases were reported. So there you go. I wanted to put this out here because you need to know if you're going to travel. Again, I'm traveling to a certain area, I do due diligence and do my research and make sure things are straight. Now, some people, if you're from a small town in the US or in I don't know, Australia or wherever you're from, then this may seem like, oh my God, oh, this is just crazy. Well, let me tell you, don't go to Chicago. I was there a couple of months ago, and I'm not saying their crime is bad, but I'm saying their news of the crime is bad. It makes it look like it's just that much worse. So I try to mix up this, and now if you have good news coming from Colombia, send it my way. I'd be more than happy to put that information out there. It is still the city of eternal spring. I still love Medellin Colombia and hope to visit at some point soon.
So I hope you liked this video. If you did, make sure you go down and hit subscribe and definitely like. It helps that YouTube algorithm. You know what I'm talking about? See what I'm saying?
We have a YouTube channel, like it.
Please comment and share if you like the video. Please subscribe and kick the bell.